Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am MD Khairul Kabir. Today I'll talk about the security issues in all optical networks. Introduction. Optical networks are advanced communication systems that utilize optical fiber to transmit data over long distance at high speed. They form the backbone of modern telecommunication infrastructure, enabling the efficient and rapid transfer of vast amounts of information. While current optical primarily involve optoelectronic conversion at cross connects, transparent all optical networks are gaining popularity with wavelength division multiplexing, providing transparent circuits between end terminals without regeneration, but only with amplification in the middle. Next, the overview of optical networks. Optical fiber. Optical networks rely on optical fibers, which are thin strands of transparent materials typically made of glass or plastic. These fibers are designed to guide light signals over long distance with minimal loss and interface. The second one is light transmission. In optical networks, data is transmitted in the form of light signal. Light signals are generated by laser or light emitting diodes (LED) and are encoded with that information to be transmitted. Wavelength division multiplexing. Optical networks often employ WDM technology which allows multiple wavelengths of light to be transmitted simultaneously over a single optical fiber. This enables a transmission of multiple independent data streams, significantly increasing the network capacity. Importance of security in optical networks. Data confidentiality. All optical networks transmit vast amount of data at high speed, making them attractive targets of airdroping and data interception. Ensuring data confidentiality is essential to protect sensitive information, including personal data, financial transaction, and classified government or corporate communication. Encryption technique and secure key management protocols can help prevent unauthorized access to transmitted data. The next one is network availability. All optical networks are the backbone of infrastructure supporting vital services such as telecommunication, financial transaction, healthcare system, and emergency services. Any disruption or compromise in network availability can have several consequences, including financial losses, communication failure, and potentially endangering public safety. Protecting all optical networks from denial of service attacks, physical layer attacks, and network equipment tampering is crucial to maintain uninterrupted service availability. Next, the data integrity. Mitigating data integrity ensures that information remains unaltered and trustworthy throughout its transmission. Attacks targeting the physical layer, such as fiber tapping or wavelength manipulating, can compromise the integrity of transmitted data. Data integrity mechanisms such as checksum, digital signature, and error detection algorithm help detect and prevent unauthorized modification or corruption of data. Protection against network instructions. All optical networks are complex systems with various interconnected components, including routers, switches, amplifier, and optical fibers. Securing these components against unauthorized access is essential to prevent malicious actors from manipulating network elements, rerouting traffic, or disrupting network operations. Implementing strong access control policies, authentication mechanism, and network monitoring system can help detect and mitigate intrusions effectively. Preserving business reputation and trust. In today's interconnected world, maintaining a customer trust and preserving the reputation of organization are critical. Any security which breach in all optical networks can lead to sharp financial and reputational damage. Customers and stockholders expect their data to be handled securely and protected from unauthorized access to disclosure. Compliance with the regulation and standards. Many industries such as healthcare, finance, and government have specific regulatory requirements and standards regarding data security and privacy. All optical networks that handle sensitive data must comply with this regulation to avoid legal potential finance or legal disrupts. Implementing robust security measures ensure compliance with relevant regulation and industry standards, providing organizations with a legal and ethical framework for conducting these operations. Security challenges in optical networks. Physical layer attacks. In physical layer attacks, we have different types of attacks, which is number one, fiber tapping. Fiber tapping involves intercepting and eavesdropping on data by physically accessing the fiber optic cable and tapping into the light signal. The second, optical power monitoring. Attackers can monitor the optical power levels in the network to gather information about the network traffic by analyzing the power levels. They may gain insights into the data being transmitted or identify patterns that can be used for malicious purpose. The third one is optical signal injection. In these attacks, an attacker injects unwanted optical signal into the network to disrupt or manipulate the communication. By introducing additional signal, they can cause interface, introduce errors, or even block ligament data transmitted. Number four, optical amplifier emission tapping. Optical amplifiers are used in long haul optical networks to boost the signal strength. Attackers can tap into the amplified signal emitted by this device to intercept data with physically accessing the fiber cables. Number five, optical time domain reflectometry, OTDR attacks. OTDR is a technique used for fiber testing and troubleshooting. Attackers can exploit this technique to launch attacks by injecting strong light pulse. Optical layer jamming. Attackers can deliberately reintroduce high power optical signal into the network, overwhelming the receivers and causing communication disruption. This can be achieved using powerful layers or other means to flood the network with excessive optical power. The next one is the fiber tapping attack. Fiber tapping involves the intersection of monitoring the data transmitted over optical fiber networks. These attacks give the physical infrastructure of the network rather than the data itself. The access to fiber. An attackers gain physical access to the optical fiber cable by locating and vulnerable point along the network route. This could be a injection box, a manhole, or any other point where the fiber is exposed. Second one is the cable tapping. The attackers cast into the fiber cable and carefully splice a separate device such as a splicer or a passive optical tap into the optical path. This additional component diverts a portion of the light signal traveling through the fiber to the attacker's eavesdropping device without disturbing the network's functionality. The third one is signal interception. The attacker's eavesdropping device intercepts the delivered light signal and converts it into an electrical signal for analysis. This can be achieved using a variety of techniques such as photodetectors or other optical to electrical conversion methods. The last one is data extraction. Once the light signal is converted into an electrical signal, the attacker can analyze the intercepted data. This may involve capturing and decoding sensitive information such as username, password, financial data, or confidential communication. Eavesdropping and interception. Here we have different type of everdropsing and interception. The first one is the passive everdropsing. Passive everdropsing refers to the interception of optical signal without modifying or disturbing the communication. Attackers tap into the optical fibers or users specialized device to capture the light signal and convert them into electrical signal for analysis. By analyzing the intercepted data, attackers can extract sensitive information such as confidential communication, financial data, or logic credentials. The second one is active everdropsing. Active everdropsing involves more sophisticated techniques where attackers manipulated the optical signals during deception. They may inject additional signals, modify the existing signals, or perform signals analysis to extract information. Active everdropsing can be more challenging to detect compared to passive everdropsing. Third one is optical tapping. Optical tapping attacks, as mentioned earlier, involve physically accessing the fiber optic cables and inserting additional components such as splitters or passive optical taps to divert a portion of the transmitted light signal for interception. This allows attackers to intercept and analyze the diverted signal without disturbing the network operation. The last one is network tapping points. Attackers target specific networks point where they can gain access to multiple optical fibers such as junction boxes, network access point, or data center by tapping into the central point. They intercept a significant amount of network traffic and gather valuable information. DOS attacks, fiber exhaustion attacks. Optical networks rely on the fiber optic cable to transmit data. Those attackers may attempt to overwhelm the available network's bandwidth by flooding the network with a massive volume of traffic. This can be achieved through various means such as generating a high volume of box traffic or delivering a botnet to launch coordinate attacks. Amplification attacks. Optical networks often employ devices like optical amplifiers to extend the transmission range. Attackers can abuse this amplifier by sending an email, a small force request that triggers a disproportionately large response. This amplification effect allows the attackers to multiply the volume of traffic they generate, overwhelming a network infrastructure. Link flooding attack. In optical networks, a link flooding attack can occur when the attacker floods a specific network link and multiple links with an excessive amount of traffic. This can lead to congestion and the subsequent degradation of network performance or even the complete unavailability of service. Mitigating jamming attacks of optical network encryption. Implementing strong encryption mechanism can protect the confidentiality and integrity of the transmitted data, even if the signals are disrupted or intercepted. The encrypted content remains secure. The second one is physical security. Ensuring the physical security of the fiber optic cables and networks infrastructure is essential. This includes protecting critical networks elements such as optical amplifiers from unauthorized access. Third one is monitoring and detection. Deploying monitoring system that can detect anomalies in the optical signals such as unexpected power levels or excessive noise can help identify potential jamming attacks. Real-time monitoring enables repeat response and mitigation. Redundancy and diversity. Building redundancy and diversity into the network design helps mitigate the impact of jamming attacks by having alternative transmission path and backup equipment. The network can quickly recover from disruptions. So in conclusion, we can say All optical networks have numerous advantages such as high bandwidth capacity, low latency, and energy efficiency. However, they also pose several security challenges that need to be addressed. Some of the key security issues in optical networks. Overall, while all of optical networks offer significant benefits, addressing the security challenges is crucial to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data transmitted over this network.